Hello, everybody. I'm Adam.
And I'm Mari.
And we are AM Vintage. Today we're going to be having a little morning talk, right?
Our Elvis talk segment continues,
Yeah,
and we are so.
Our,
All right, we got our coffee. Well, no, we got
lemonade. We both have a lemonade today.
So I hope you guys are going to get your coffee, tea, lemonade, or whatever it is for your fix at this time of day, right?
Yeah.
And we are going to be discussing. What are we discussing today?
The old Lansky building and what's going on with that.
Oh yes.
On Beale Street.
Very interesting news from someone important that you really wanted to hear us talking about again. So please.
Yeah. Coming up next.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We are here with our following our second Elvis talk segment.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about exciting news, right? The Soul Museum is coming to Memphis.
Well, the Rock and Soul Museum.
Excuse me. Yes.
It's already in Memphis.
It's in Memphis.
It's in Memphis, but they're going to move to a new location,
which is on Beale Street.
Yeah.
What we're hearing, and supposedly yesterday on March 28th, Priscilla actually came to town and did a conference. Where she actually talked about the museum coming into town, and of course, she also christened the building, which I know a lot of people are gonna hate the fact that she's the one that did it, right?
She christened the building?
I read that she christened the building. I'm like, okay, I don't know.
How did she do that, Mari?
I don't know how they did that. I want to see I just read about it, so I'm actually going to look into it. And they said that she christened the building, which I don't know if she said something. They cut bows. I don't think that's what was done because it's not grand opening.
We're going to increase tourism to our city and state. And almost importantly, by relocating the Rock and Soul Museum at 126 Beale Street, we will honor the legacy of what Memphis is known for around the world, and that is Memphis music.
I feel like the building was christened the day that Elvis walked in there and bought his first shirt, you know?
When I heard that, I'm like, christen the building? How do you christen the building? But that's what it said. And it was one of these Memphis news, I guess it was called the Memphis Flyer, is where I found it at.
Yeah, the Memphis Flyer.
It's a good. Is that a newspaper, or is it just more like a paper or a freelance kind of?
You know what? I don't remember, but I have tons of copies of the Memphis Flyer. It's I think it's like a free paper that you would get in Memphis.
That's what it looks like. See, here it says, we'll host a press conference. This was for yesterday, and then christen the building at 2:00. So I don't know how she did it. We wanted to know more or less if we could get more information. That's going to be coming up too.
Yeah. There goes the train, Mari.
There goes our train.
Every
again.
video.
Every time.
The train
we come into the.
Can I give a little background on this building though, real quick?
For everybody that doesn't know.
So it's the original Lansky building. You know, it's where Elvis used to go and buy his clothes.
I think this will be a helpful thing to read.
Well, here you go. Let me just give
You want to give your own?
I'm giving my off of the head stuff that I remember.
This is what Adam remembers.
I like to tell you what I remember, and then if you want to.
And then I'm read that for people that don't know.
But back in the 90s, Elvis Presley Enterprises bought the building, or they rented the building or leased it, and it became a really cool nightclub called Elvis Presley's Memphis. And that nightclub was awesome. It had a really cool sign on the outside with Elvis on it, and the inside of the place had all kinds of Elvis memorabilia in it. And they had a really cool house band called the Dempseys, which was like a rockabilly band.
Good luck.
But yeah, Elvis Presley's Memphis was awesome, but it probably lasted about 10 years or so. I can't really remember. But Priscilla and Lisa Marie were there for the grand opening.
Yeah.
And you know who else was there for the grand opening, I remember? Jewel, the singer Jewel.
Elvis Presley, influenced everybody's music probably, if not his movements, and stage presence. What really affected me about Elvis was, his gospel singing and watching him warm up, the tapes I'd seen him warming up with, the singers in the backstage, and his professionalism that I've heard about and his kindness toward his band and stuff like that has always really impressed me.
That's opening up.
Yeah.
Wait.
But anyways, that place was around for probably about 10 years. And I went there with my father many times.
Yeah.
They had really good banana pudding. But it closed down. And then it became a place called EP's Bar and Grill, which wasn't really associated with Elvis Presley Enterprises, I don't think. That's why they didn't use the name Elvis, actually. They just EP's Bar and Grill. And I don't know how long that was around, maybe about 5 years or so. And then the Hard Rock Cafe, which used to be on the other end of Beale Street,
Yeah.
Moved into that building. And they were there, I don't know, maybe about 5 years or so.
Yeah, and that's actually what I remember is just seeing there.
Right.
Obviously.
And we went there when they were going out of business and we bought just all kinds of
It was
Memphis
ridiculous,
Hard
you
Rock
guys.
stuff.
Everything
Yeah.
was like 75%
Yeah.
off, and then we're like, well, since
Yeah.
it's going out of business, we might as well. We were getting so many
Yeah.
things that were so cool.
We got like a whole new wardrobe because when you go in and everything's 75%
it was
off.
so cheap, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was sad to see that closing. I'm so glad that they are actually putting something good in that
But
area.
the-
bringing more attraction to.
Beale Street
So-
needs something like that.
Yeah.
But we were saying like, it's hard to believe that the Hard Rock Cafe cannot survive in Memphis, Tennessee.
We were actually talking about that yesterday, and I was telling Adam that I just think that the prices were just the food. I mean, like we were saying, Hard Rock's everywhere.
Hard Rock is everywhere, and if you go to Beale Street, you want
yeah.
to get like authentic barbecue.
When we go there, we're looking for barbecue,
And,
soul food, and then all we see is Hard Rock. We're like, well,
So,
you
yeah.
can get Hard Rock anywhere. So I think
Right.
that's a good thing that it, not in a bad way, but I'm glad it's not there anymore. I just think that this museum will actually bring more
the Rock and
more
Soul
traffic
Museum.
come into.
When I've been to the Rock and
It
Soul
suits
Museum,
better.
but when I was there years ago,
Yeah.
it was actually at the Gibson Guitar Factory.
Gibson?
Yeah, Gibson Guitar has a factory in
Uh-huh.
Memphis, and the Rock and Soul Museum was there in the same building. And I remember when we toured the Rock and Soul Museum, we also toured the Gibson Guitar Factory and watched them make guitars.
That's so cool.
So that was pretty cool. I'm
Wasn't
not
that-
sure. I'm not sure where it's at now, but
Maybe
it
we'll have
is.
to look into that.
It is going to move into the Lansky building.
Yeah.
But you were saying this is phase 1, right?
This is actually going to be phase 1. There's so many donors. I think they're coming from, I think it was called the Memphis Foundation, if I'm correct. Those are the founders.
Okay.
They're actually, I think,
They did buy the building
bought-
for $5 million.
yeah, and they're still looking for more money.
Well, they need money
To help.
to move everything and to set up
over
the
and set up.
exhibits and
Yeah. And one thing interesting about Lansky's, I guess for everybody who doesn't know, it's actually home to the original Lansky Brothers clothing store. And this is actually not just only where Elvis shopped, but I like the fact that B.B. King shopped there, Jerry Lee as well, and Johnny Cash. So there was
Yeah.
other formerly
Yeah.
artists that we,
Yeah.
that we
And-
admire. that
and
went
it wasn't
there.
just Priscilla that was there.
So it's a huge.
It was several Memphis dignitaries and
Joy,
including Bernard Lansky's son was there. I forget his first name, but one of the Lanskys was there.
Well, John, the director of the museum, which is Don Doyle, was there. John Doyle was there, and he was actually the one speaking also, not just Priscilla.
Okay.
And
And
so-
I think the blonde guy, I think his name is Kevin Kearns. He's like the guy he's the visitors, Memphis,
But I'm always curious to know who are the founders. They got J.W. and Kathy Gibson, Mike and Linda Kerb, and the Foundation of Memphis
J.W.
are
and
the largest donors who stepped up.
Well, J.W. and Kathy Gibson, they must be related to the Gibson guitar.
We're
Right.
just saying that, yeah.
And then Linda Kerb, that's Kerb Records. So Kerb Records is, I know Lyle Lovett. Lyle Lovett was on Curb
And
Records.
it makes sense for these to be the donors. I mean, it's all related to the music, which is awesome.
And I'm pretty sure Curb Records also owns the Audubon Drive house that Elvis used to own. I think they're the people that bought the house.
Yeah, so much history.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they're going to do that on Beale Street. I think it's going to bring more traffic. It's going to bring more.
It'll be cool to have a museum right there in Beale.
Yeah, but it brings that history that people would come down and learn more about, not just, Elvis. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, there's so many.
The music history.
So much music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many artists that we probably didn't even mention. And I hope I didn't miss anybody, but. Did I say B.B. King too?
B.B. King, yeah.
Yeah, so there's.
Remember
so
in
many
the
artists,
Baz
I'm just trying to make
Luhrmann movie?
Yeah.
They show
There's so
Elvis and
many.
B.B. King buying clothes.
Yeah, that would have been so awesome to be a part of that.
That's awesome.
And I'm glad they're not just tearing up the building or doing something differently.
Yeah. Well, it's an awesome building,
Yeah.
and it's historic right there.
And it's like right there, Main. As soon as you come onto Beale Street,
It's across the street from the
you can't
Elvis
miss it.
statue.
Yeah, so it's like the first main point building that you actually see going towards all the stores and stuff.
If you've never been to Beale Street, here's my take on Beale Street. Okay, you've got the Lansky building, which is the first building where there's actually something there, and then you got this whole strip of nightclubs and all kinds of cool, mainly nightclubs, but barbecue joints and stuff like that, bars.
Yeah.
And then there's another part of Beale Street where the Jerry Lee Lewis restaurant is, and where the Daisy Theater is.
Yeah.
And this part of Beale Street, they could never really get this part happening.
No, it seems kind of.
It's always kind of scary at that far end of Beale Street. There's the cool end, and then there's that far end, which is a little bit shady.
And you don't want to really.
Where Jerry Lee Lewis is.
You kind of just come to that, that corner and you just want to turn back around.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is sad.
I don't know why they can never get that part of Beale Street going. It's always just let's turn around and walk
maybe
back.
if they would have put the museum on that side, maybe it would have.
They could use something down there. I don't know. They need something down there.
Maybe we should do something down there.
Yeah, well, we might need $10 or $15 million.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, if you have $15 million,
yeah, I know. Can you imagine?
We'll open up something.
We'll open up something. Shoot, that would be so fun to do. But no, in all seriousness, I think it would be cool to have other things out there.
For sure.
If they're trying to do a museum, I think it would be other. I don't know if the word is. Cool ideas is to have other things that are bringing in students, kids, more like a family. Or do you like it only because during the day?
During the day,
it's a family place, right? But
at night,
nighttime, it's a little
keep
different.
the family
story.
away at night, man.
So
we ran into these people on Beale Street, me and Mari and some people that we were there with,
friends, yeah.
And there's always some con artists that come up to you and want you to
But these were kids.
They were kids, they wanted to do this thing where it's guess which. Here's a ball. Guess which cup it's under, and
they
if you guess it,
this amount of, and they had a stack of money, and we're
they
really?
wanted us to they were trying to get our money.
Yeah, no.
So
we'll bet you this amount for your amount, kind of
you got to watch out on Beale Street. If it's not if it's not people begging for money, then they're trying to scam it from you.
It's very So I guess during the daytime is you're right. It's more of it's okay for families to be out and about, but
sure. Especially to go to A Schwab, which is a really cool.
I kind of feel this way with Adam. I didn't like taking the kids there even during the day. I just didn't think that was something the kids were interested. The only thing that they probably thought it was cool was when the people were the street performers.
Well, the flippers.
Yeah. I mean, but other than that, honestly, what was there for
there's all the live music, and it's cool for kids to be exposed to that type of thing.
I think so, but no, not really. For me, I'm just saying, if you guys take your family out there, it's okay. I think that was more and more geared towards a little bit older than teenagers, young adults, and older.
Yeah, but if you're downtown with the family, you got to stop at Beale Street. If it's
for the food,
daytime,
especially food.
For the food.
The food's awesome.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see it was that kid friendly.
Well, plus A Schwab. That place is awesome.
Yeah.
the general store.
Souvenirs and everything.
I love
Yeah,
that,
I
yeah.
guess in that sense, yeah, kids will
I
probably
guess it was
like it.
an
So,
old 5
yeah.
and dime store.
But the reason why I say that it wasn't really that kid friendly was because of the people that are hanging out asking, begging for money, and it's a little kind of shady. So
Yeah.
you gotta be careful.
Years ago, they developed this thing called the Blue Suede Brigade.
Mhm.
And what a great name, right? Blue Suede Brigade.
Sounds awesome.
And it was these people that had blue suede shoes on and like these blue hats. And they would walk around Beale Street and they would make you feel safe. And if you had any questions, you could walk up to them and talk to them. But I don't know. Maybe the funding wasn't there. They got rid of those guys.
But another thing too, I don't know how you guys felt that Priscilla was the one. I think I had, again, it's me having that issue, knowing that they could have asked so many other artists, are more respectful artists that were from that time that are into the rock and roll.
Well, yeah, she said, why didn't they have somebody else? Why did they have Priscilla there? And I told Mara, I said, well, maybe they asked other people. Maybe Priscilla was the one that accepted the invite.
It's true, but
you could bash Priscilla all you want and say, what you want about her, but I really don't think you could say anything bad about her going and representing Elvis for the.
Well, I know a lot of people say they hate her and stuff, and I get it. I get the reasons for that. But then I was telling Adam that when I saw this preview of the conference and everything, everybody was like rooting for her. We're being so polite, shouting out they loved her, and I was like, where were the haters at? It's like, I understand that. It just feels like there's so much more to Priscilla that people are not aware of. Like, I was doing some things, I was telling Adam that I was surprised to hear that she does a lot of charity work on the side that people do not speak about. Again, they're never going to speak about the good things people do, right? It's always about the bad things. And but she is really big on the other thing with autism. Knowing that I have a few family members dealing with autism, I think that that's an awesome thing to do, especially if she has that name and she's using it for a good cause to raise money.
Part of the proceeds for her lip balm were going.
I saw that part of her proceeds for the lip balm. Go figure. I didn't even know that, which I was like, wow, and it's like I said, I really have respect for her in that sense. But a lot of people don't talk about that. Well, I know
she's an animal lover and she's always,
she's avid. And then there's other charity work that she does that I was looking into, which nobody talks about. They always want to talk. Like I said, you want to dish the bad stuff out, and I get it. I respect that, but talk about the good stuff too. People. There's always a good and a bad side to everybody, I guess. Right.
Right.
So
I think the news about the Soul Museum moving to the old Lansky building is good news. And she was just there to,
and I think you said that to represent Elvis. I get that, yeah. So
and talk about how he used to shop there, and
yeah.
So it was just all memories. A positive thing. It was nothing.
Yeah, I think she did mention that he would shop there or ask Joe Esposito sometimes to go get his clothes.
Yeah, sometimes he would ask the Memphis Mafia, "Hey, go to Lansky's, buy a bunch of clothes, and when you get back, I'll pick out what I like from what you bought."
And that's so cool to hear stories like that. Even if you don't like Priscilla, honestly, I don't care for the lady as much, but to hear stories like that, you would want to be there to hear that and things that she's able to experience with Elvis during that time. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
You're never going to get to hear stuff like that. And Joe Esposito this one passed away. I'm sorry.
He passed away probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago, right?
Yeah, he was from Chicago originally. Chicago Joe.
But he's the one, I guess what I was saying is, he's the one that you said he was kind of crabby pants.
Well, I met him a few times, and of all the Memphis Mafia that I've run into, he was the one that just seemed like, okay, kid, let's do this picture. Let's get this out of the way, So I was young at the time. I was just like, oh, okay. But
you know what? Later on, somebody was suggesting that you should do a video with, because Adam for such a young age was taking pictures with all kinds of
you had the whole entourage just about.
I met most of them.
A lot of people.
Most of them. I didn't get to meet Red West.
Yeah.
But I met Sonny. I met Joe Esposito.
Yeah.
Charlie Hodge, Larry Geller.
See, everybody.
Patty Perry.
The cook. I know you met one of the cooks.
Oh, yeah, I met...
was it Mary or was it... Who was
Mary Jenkins. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's so cool. When he tells me these stories, you guys, it just helps, actually... I guess
Because here's the
add
thing.
to my admiration to Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the music and stuff. So yeah.
Well, Elvis Week used to be a lot more about like Elvis's friends and the people that knew him coming and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I know a lot of those people passed away, but now it's mainly about like how many tribute artists can we get to in 1 week.
And I know we talked about that in our last segment. We're not happy about the Elvis tribute artists and stuff, but I think that's just the way it is, and probably unfortunately that's how it's going to be later on when everybody from the Elvis world passes away.
It's sad. It's sad because when I was a kid,
Yeah.
most of those Elvis people were still alive. You know, it was like Elvis was the only one that was gone, and everybody else was still around. You know,
Yeah.
so I got to meet so many people. You
Yeah.
know, Sam Phillips.
But lucky
you know.
you though. That's a good thing to take away from all this.
Yeah,
And you carry it and you keep forward with it.
for sure. We keep looking down at the time.
Adam's gotta be
I have to go to work in
so-
about 15 minutes at the old pizzeria.
Yeah, no, he's not staring at
Yeah,
my
yeah.
legs or anything like that. It's just just kidding.
We're gonna do a video one of these days on the place where I work,
Yes, that'd be cool for you
which
guys
is
to
my
see.
brother's pizzeria, which is just full of pop culture,
Yeah.
memorabilia.
He's a collector as well. I
Just-
think all his most of
Yeah.
the siblings are collectors.
Yeah, I've
So-
mentioned it before. My brother bought an old high school. He lives in a high school, and he's got a gymnasium. He's got
Yeah.
everything that's in a high school. He's got So the pizza place is in the old cafeteria. So
It's a cool place. So if you guys are ever in the area near DeKalb, I mean, I would recommend you guys
DeKalb,
come in.
Illinois. Yeah,
Eat.
it's called Old School Pizza because it's in an old school. So,
Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah. So I just gave my brother a plug.
Yeah.
I should get a raise for that, Mari.
Well, don't look at me. Ask him.
I got to talk to this guy. I'm giving him plugs on YouTube.
Right. You're giving a lot of people.
Jeez Louise.
But yeah, I hope this was an interesting, hopefully good news to hear from Memphis. Anybody that's living close to Memphis is actually
Yeah,
I wish
that's
we were
awesome.
closer.
it's going to take a while before they get moved into the building, probably a few years, I would
Yeah.
imagine, but
Yeah, I mean, you still got to.
they got the ball
in the
rolling,
works,
so
right.
that's all that matters.
Well, if you get the money, who knows? It might be faster than we think.
Well, everybody, we want to thank you for watching
As
again.
always. Yes.
Please like and subscribe and
Yes.
ring that notification bell.
Yeah, and if you guys like the segment to continue the Elvis talk with AM Vintage, please let us know what topics you would like to hear us talk about, right?
Yeah,
Because
we're just trying to talk about recent
news.
things that are in the news about
Yeah.
Elvis and about Memphis
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so if you guys hear of anything or you like for us to discuss, please let us know in the comments. We truly appreciate you guys as always. Again, we just want to thank you guys for subscribing, for sharing, for liking. That's always a great feeling to know that our audience is growing.
Yeah,
So we can
it's awesome.
continue the videos that we like to do. So again, thank you so much, you guys, for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Take care, you guys.
Say